This should be a very important game tonight. Brenzel again makes a nice cut to the outside.
You can talk about second and third effort.
To the pylon, touchdown, Charlestown. Great catch in front of the goal line.
That was a perfect throw. The sophomore quarterback
makes a great cut up the field. It's Gonzalez with the carry, bounces to the outside, to the back of the end zone. What a catch by Ryan Wynn. Hello, Boston, and welcome to Boston English High School in Jamaica Plain as we finish off our regular season coverage of the 2019 BPS High School football season. As tonight, the Latin Academy Dragons will be taking on the Boston English Eagles. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. And Alan, we started the high school football playoffs with 5 BPS high school football teams, and all 5 are now eliminated.
didn't take long, right?
First 2 rounds.
It happens.
It was really tough for a lot of the teams in the city. Latin Academy, one of the teams we're going to see tonight, was the only team that made it to the second round of the postseason.
Right.
But Boston English, one of the teams that also made it to the postseason, they lost in the first round, a tough, hard-fought game to Keefe Tech. So this season, the playoffs were a really tough stretch for the City League teams.
But with this new format, like you said, it's almost like a break for the first couple of rounds of playoffs, and now we get back to finish off what normally is the regular season. And, of course, with English has the big Thanksgiving Day game to look forward to, the traditional against Latin. But they want to bounce back. I think that both coaches are happy that the teams are relatively healthy.
Right.
And the Mother Nature seems to be complying, and I guess we go lucky, I say, because we had that cold spell a few days ago.
That's right.
And if that had continued, it'd be really rough out here for these kids.
No question. Not too bad tonight, sort of mild. It's going to get probably to 40, maybe just a little bit under 40, but not too bad here at English High. First, we'll talk about the English Eagles, and one of the things that we've seen out of the 2 games we covered from them this season is how many great backfield players they have on this team. And one guy we've seen a lot of over the last couple of years has been Herbie Exelholm. He's one of those players they move all around the field.
All around the field, and that's the key. That's why he's so valuable, and that's why he's so explosive. He can be in the backfield. He can be a slot receiver. He can be a wide receiver if he has to. So, as a matter of fact, he can take direct snaps in a bit of a wildcat. So with his overall speed and agility, and he has an intelligence also because he's like one of the veteran players on English's team. So I wouldn't be surprised if English finds a number of different ways to get him the football, preferably with some open space.
No question. We've seen him make big plays for this English team before. I'm sure we'll see him them try to get him in position to make some more big plays again tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side for Latin Academy, they have a slew of running backs as well. But one guy who we saw a couple of weeks ago who talked about making
the young
big
fella.
plays.
Oh,
the
yeah.
young fella, the sophomore, Malcolm Crispin. He's our spotlight player tonight. He was fun to watch.
He was amazing. And not only, these are some nice offensive plays, but he played well defensively, which really impressed me just as much in that game against East Boston. He has excellent speed. He's showing some good awareness as he makes his cuts. I mean, he's still small, like under 150 pounds, but has no fear trying to go between tackles. And I know Latin Academy is looking forward to a bright future with him in their backfield for the next couple of years.
No question. He had a real nice game, as you see there, against East Boston with the 72 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. In Latin Academy's loss against Manchester Essex, I did see a few plays, even though Latin Academy couldn't score against Manchester Essex, I did see a few plays where Malcolm Crispin had some hard runs and gave a spark to this Latin Academy team. So I'm sure we'll see him try to make some more of those plays to fire up his squad tonight. We're just about set to go here at Boston English High as English won the toss and elected to kick off. They're in the navy blue jerseys with the white trim. Latin Academy in the white jerseys, black and yellow trim. As we mentioned, both these teams made the playoffs this season, as there you see English with their classic squib kick to start the game. And Latin Academy is going to take over right at the 47-yard line.
Smart play, safe play from the up receiver, Rafael Cruz.
Yep.
Cruz caught it on the fly to give his team great field position to start, almost right at midfield.
So great field position here for Latin Academy. Our sideline reporter Michelle Fenelon has an update for us. Michelle, what's happening?
Quick injury update for you guys. Latin Academy running back Robert Merrick is returning from injury tonight. He was nursing a sprained ankle for the past 3 games, and head coach Rocco Ziza told me there are no limitations, but he probably won't start. As for the Eagles, head coach Ryan Conway told me their game plan is simple: limit Merrick and what he can do on the field. Guys.
Thanks very much, Michelle. Big added bonus tonight here for Latin Academy as you see Merrick get to carry on first down, but he was unable to pick up any yardage.
No surprise, just get him involved first play of the game. But again, English is going to key on him because even though he missed some time, once he's back, English knows he's probably one of their key offensive players.
Merrick also a very good linebacker for Latin Academy. Here are the starters for the Dragons. You got Maffeo at quarterback, Cruz, Crispin, and also you just saw Merrick in the backfield, Suazo and Williams. You also see Malachi Steele as a wide receiver and tight end for the Dragons.
Staying in their customary shotgun with 2 backs next to the quarterback.
Dragons actually lost a yard on first down. Second down now. Suazo over to Sahatchin, the big tight end, and he's bumped out of bounds right at midfield. So a 4-yard pickup on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 7 now for Latin Academy.
The Tyrone Ford on that, on the coverage and the tackle, or actually the bump out of bounds. Interesting play to run that sort of tight end screen to the short side of the field, trying to catch English leaning the opposite way, but good coverage on that play.
3rd and 7 now for the Dragons. Maffeo facing some pressure, trying to get rid of the football, and cannot connect with his receiver. I think that was Williams over there. No, that's Malachi Steele, over on the far side.
Maffeo did a good job. Watch, he eludes the rush. Just puts a little too much on this ball. The first series, English defense is going to be happy how they started, especially after the kickoff. Like I said, would put Latin Academy close to midfield.
Dragons are going to go for it here on 4th and 7. 2 backs in the backfield for the Dragons. Now Maffeo with a quick kick that goes off the side of his foot. And they'll mark that out of bounds right around the 34-yard line.
He might have rushed that a little bit. I think he had more time than he realized. Anytime you're doing a quick kick like that, there's an element of surprise, but at the same time, there's not a lot of space for you to take your normal steps for a punt. So ended up being less than a 20-yard punt.
So Boston English will take over at their own 34-yard line. There you see the English starters. It's Smith at the quarterback position, back from injury last week. This will be his 2nd start since being out injured. Stevens, Kerr, White, and Olagon.
The big fella, yeah.
On first down, it's Keyshawn Kerr. Trying to bounce to the outside. He does, and Keyshawn makes his way past the 40 up to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, we saw Keyshawn have a huge game earlier in the season. It's like a gliding type runner. Inside now, just using his blockers effectively. Finally makes a cut to get upfield. Nice 9-yard gain.
One thing you notice here on the first defensive possession for Latin Academy, Robert Merrick is not out there at linebacker so far, so we'll see if they play him at all on defense, if they're just trying to get him some reps on offense tonight. 2nd and 1 now for English. And this time Sahatchian makes the tackle in the backfield as Exelholm got the handoff.
Big 6'6" defensive end did his job, came across, not at an angle. And even though he had a speedy running back, he was able to use those long arms of his to corral and throw him for a loss.
So they mark Exelholm down at the 40, so that'll be a 3-yard loss on the play. 3rd and 5 now for Boston English.
Don't forget, Smith, the English quarterback's a good runner himself.
Send the man in motion. And good gang tackling that time by Latin Academy, as it was Pedro Barrero who got the carry there on 3rd down.
I was just going to say, really good pursuit. Latin Academy's claiming it was a fumble, but apparently the whistle had already blown. Like you said, left to your screen, great gang tackling. Everybody rushing to the ball, good pursuit. It's hard to say tell if the ball came out, but English will just have a 4th down. So both teams, impressive defense on the first series of downs. English has been the epitome of up and down in terms of their season overall. They either score a lot or score nothing. Latin Academy with the 6-3 record has probably been a little more consistent, but it's really been game to game. And so the coaches probably feel like they haven't got the kind of consistency that they'd like to have.
English back to kick. End over end punt as Crispin unable to hang on to the football. And the ball goes out of bounds. Latin Academy will stay with possession, but that's going to go all the way back to about the 13-yard line.
And luckily, Tyrick Williams for Latin Academy was back there to try to give Crispin, he tried to call for a fair catch, but they had the ball bounce off his shoulder pad, and there's Williams to at least keep possession for Latin Academy, even though, like you said, they're going to be deep in their own territory.
32-yard punt there for Boston English.
One of the things about English here, the lights are at somewhat unusual angles from a typical football stadium. So I think we give Christian a little bit of a break on that because he was looking directly into one of the sheets of lights.
Here you see Zach Maffeo, 4 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns this season for Latin Academy. He actually throws for a lot more yardage, but getting into the end zone, it's been more for the running backs. As there you see Crispin getting the carry. He gets to the corner. Malcolm Crispin still on his feet as he makes his way up to the 24-yard line.
He has some wheels. I tell you, there's nothing for an offensive coach at the high school level, nothing more exciting than to have a back like Crispin really start to develop and bloom as a sophomore. Because you sort of look at your chops, 2 more years, 2 more off seasons to get this kid built up. And like I said, I think he's listed at 146 pounds. No doubt he'll add some muscle, but still be able to keep that speed.
2nd down and 2 now for Latin Academy after the 8-yard gain from Crispin. Pitch to Crispin over the right side now. Malcolm follows his blockers nicely. Gets up to the 35 and shoved out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Like I said, excellent description, Pat, coming right at us. You'll see them as if they're coming up here to the booth. They're blocking in front of him. Crispin is taking his time, biding his time until he gets that final block right there. That's the one that allows him to cut over to the sideline, get the 1st down. You wonder, as a sophomore, I wonder how much the Latin Academy coaches really thought Crispin was going to develop. Because you just never can tell as sophomores.
Sure.
Kids get jittery, kids get a little nervous, because he is, like I said, a little undersized, but he's been fantastic all season.
Played a little special teams last year as a freshman, but has really gained more playing time this year. It's Cruz now with the carry, and he's strung out towards the sideline. I think he lost a yard on that play as he had nowhere to go with it.
It's a good pursuit for English. A lot of times it's difficult to defend the wide side of the field when you have some speedy runners in the backfield like Latin Academy does. Cruz is more of an all-around back, but not quite the speed that Crispin has, but he's been pretty durable and pretty good performance thus far this season. And after this game, Latin Academy has the Thanksgiving game of their own. English will be playing also, so they got something to look forward to.
2nd down and 11 now for the Dragons after that 1-yard loss by Cruz.
Yeah.
Early movement here, and I couldn't tell if that's
English
encroachment or a false start.
Well, Maffeo actually had changed his cadence. We saw this in an earlier Latin Academy game where they did the same thing, drawing defense offside. So 5 free yards always helps.
So it was an offsides penalty on Boston English. So That'll give Latin Academy 5 yards. Now 2nd down and 6 for the Dragons instead of 2nd down and 11. Crispin and Cruz in the backfield. It's Cruz again with the carry. Cruz again wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage.
Nothing there at all.
Yeah. He's brought down at the 39.
I'll tell you, with all the success Crispin's had this season, it seems like English is focusing more on Cruz because Cruz has had no running room. Meanwhile, Crispin's had a couple of good runs so far in the first quarter.
Boston English's defensive line has played very well this season. One player they are missing is George Zabalou, one of their best defensive players. He got hurt in that South Boston game, played
Oswego hurt right
earlier
a
couple of weeks later, but then this week just wasn't able to go. As that time Crispin wasn't able to hang on to the pass out in the flat, and Latin Academy is going to have to punt.
Again, good defensive stand by English. They gave up a 1st down on the run by Crispin, but this time, like just a little pass to the flat, and Crispin just couldn't haul it in. That's an age-old argument about should the receivers wear gloves or not, and it's definitely half and half. So, some kids and coaches swear by the gloves, especially when the colder weather. Others say you need your skin on the ball.
Dragons again go with the quick kick. This one a better one from Zach Lafeo.
Nice
takes
bounce.
A good bounce down to the 20-yard line. Good return here for Boston English, and Latin Academy does a good job covering the kick at the 30-yard line is where they will mark down the returner. That time it was Giovanni Antoine with the return, 41-yard punt.
Antoine was going to let it go, but he had so much space. You can see nobody in the screen there, but good coverage. 41 yards. Wow. First one was like less than 20 yards.
You see Ja'Kai Smith return came back last week from an ankle injury against O'Brien. Last week was English's first non-playoff game since losing in the playoffs to Keefe Tech 2 weeks ago. And Smith played pretty well last week for Boston English. We'll see how much he plays tonight. It's here on 1st down. I believe that's Kerr with the carry.
I'll tell you, it's been a first quarter sort of defensive instruction tape so far, because Kerr is usually able to squeeze out something, but I guess you give the front 7 for both teams. Some of it may be scouting way out late in the season. These two coaches have gone against each other for a few years, so
that's right.
They're pretty much no tendencies, but I'm a little surprised the defense has really dominated this quarter.
2nd and 10 now for Boston English. Handoff again and again, a tackle in the backfield. That time getting the carry for the Eagles was Josiah Jean, but he had nowhere to go with it. Coming across and making the tackle for Latin Academy that time was Patrick Smith.
Watch how Smith just reads this, gets in position, and perfect. Contact and no more forward motion. We talked about Ja'Kai Smith and watching him go over to the sideline for the next play. Running a little gingerly. We may not really see him try to run much today.
Be 3rd and 10 now for Boston English. Oh, low snap there for English. Ball is loose. It's picked up by the running back. Once again, it's Josiah Jean getting back there to pick up the football, but scary situation for English.
I'll tell you, almost disastrous, because not only was the ball, watch, the fumble's like right through his hands, but then it bounces back toward the end zone. Luckily, like you said, English was able to corral the ball, but then Gene just got mauled for all his trouble. So English is in a tough situation. 4th and about 20.
Yeah. 4th and 20 now for the Eagles after that 10-yard loss there on 3rd down.
So the punter comes out.
Malcolm Crispin again back to receive. Remember, he muffed the punt last time on the fair catch. Luckily, Latin Academy was able to recover. Gene back to kick.
Ooh,
That one well off the side of his foot. That's going to be a very short kick there for Boston English. See where they marked the ball down. Line of scrimmage was at the 20-yard line.
So he's going to tough break the English defense. Looks like it's about 8 yards. Wow. It's going to be the 28. So Latin Academy by far best field position of the first quarter here.
I don't remember Gene being the punter for Boston English in the previous 2 games we covered for the Eagles. So I'm not sure if maybe they're trying out a new punter or what's going on there, but that time just an 8-yard punt. Yeah. So Latin Academy will take over at the Boston English 28-yard line with just under 2 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Full house backfield this time for Latin Academy as Cruz again dragged down in the backfield. Might have scrapped and scraped for a yard there on first down. See where they marked the football down.
It's interesting what Latin Academy is doing. It seems like they're using Crispin more as a decoy. And he was the deep back in the eye. Normally he would get the handoff and have his two running backs as blockers in front of him, but they tried to sneak Cruz in there. But you're right, Pat. He did sneak out a yard and a half, maybe 2.
Second down and 9 now for Latin Academy. They give it to Cruz again, this time inside, and he makes his way up to the 25-yard line.
I think that was Crispin, yeah.
I'm sorry, Malcolm Crispin with that carry.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we spotlight him in the beginning, I think he's going to get a lot of carries tonight. He has no problem going right up the middle, going between tackles, even though he has that really small stature. I mean, you'd think, obviously Latin Academy likes to get him out to the wings with some space, but as a sophomore, seems like he has no fear.
Yeah, he is not afraid to stick his face up in there on an inside run. Now on third down, another carry up close to the 20-yard line. It's going to be short of the first down, but certainly 4-down territory for Latin Academy.
Little misdirection, fake to Cruz.
Yeah, Will Bazile this time.
Bazile gets his first carry and is able to, like you said, make it a much more manageable 4th down situation.
It'll be 4th and 3 here for the Dragons. We'll see if they get this playoff before the end of the quarter.
They don't have to, so I think they're going to give themselves a break. Switch sides of the field and then get a fresh start.
So that's going to do it for the first quarter here at Boston English High School. No score between the Latin Academy Dragons and Boston English Eagles. Latin Academy will be faced with the 4th down when we come back right after this. Make sure you stick around.
Green hat, red hat, oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants, oops.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to Boston English High School in Jamaica Plain for Game of the Week, as today the Latin Academy Dragons facing the Boston English Blue Eagles. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. A lot of good stuff up there. You can also follow us on Twitter at BostonCityTV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. 4th and 3 now for Latin Academy. And this time the handoff to Crispin, bounces to the outside, but is dropped in the backfield. Coming across that time for Boston English was Tyrese Ford, the linebacker.
Second time Ford's done a good job to throw a runner for a loss, and he gives the ball back to his offense. You see, and usually Crispin is tough to bring down one-on-ones because he's really shifty. Ford, with the strong hands, was able to handle the 150-pound running back.
So a turnover on downs. Boston English will take over at their own 21-yard line here at the start of the second quarter. Neither team able to sustain a drive so far here in the early goings. You're seeing two playoff teams, which I think, you know, when they play well this year, their defense is big parts of these teams.
As a matter of fact, the defense is probably more important than the offense in their wins so far.
Now on first down, the handoff to Keyshawn Kerr. He splits through the defenders. Kerr now back up the middle as he makes his way past the 40-yard line.
Hey, we asked for offense, and Kerr breaks one. Really nice run. Good timing. You see the blockers in front. Kerr makes one quick cut rather. And on his way up to the 43-yard line for a 21-yard gain.
Each team featuring very talented sophomore backs. You got Crispin on Latin Academy, Keyshawn Kerr on Boston English. Now on first down, it's Exelholm getting the sweep. But Sahachian in there to grab him, and then a couple more Latin Academy defenders to clean it up.
I'll tell you, that's the second time we've seen the tall Sahachian, the 88, all 6'6" of them, top of your screen. Watch 88 come across right there. Strong enough to grab a jersey and throw a runner for a loss.
Malachi Steele and Phil Avon there on the tackle as well. So it'll be 2nd and 14 now for Boston English at their own 39-yard line. They fumble the ball again. I think Latin Academy recovered. It's actually still squirting around down there.
You're right.
But the Dragons do recover the football.
Missed handoff. The ball actually squared out of Smith's hands before he can make the handoff.
Sometimes when they have that stretch run, the quarterback really has to get out there.
Exactly. And then during that time is what happened. The ball he was probably squeezing it to keep hold, and sometimes it just pops right out.
You wonder, too, with Smith, I know he played last week, but all that time off, sometimes little things timing and handoffs, people think it's a simple play, but there is some complication
especially, like you said, on that stretch play. Quarterback has to give the running back some room.
Crispin now with the carry here on first down as he rumbles past the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 30-yard line, excuse me.
It's really impressive how much a small back like Crispin has success going right up the middle. Uses his quick feet, quick moves. I mean, he's not going to run over anybody. He's very seldom going to run through anybody, but he can run around you and make you miss.
2nd down and 4 now for the Dragons. It's Maffeo on the keeper. And he might have picked up a yard, maybe 2 there on 2nd down. Just 1 yard. They mark him down at the 29-yard line.
Not sure if it was designed to run. Yeah, it was. Yeah, he definitely pulled it down. We'll probably see him run a few more times during this game.
3rd and 3 now for the Dragons. From the English 29-yard line. English coming across there. It's going to be an offside.
Give away a first down. That makes it tough. You know, Coach Conway is
give him an offside on the defense.
He's gritting his teeth on that one. He just hates seeing those. Especially when your defense is playing so well. They've had an impressive first quarter. They already bounced back earlier from a bad punt. Now they're trying to hold off the Dragons after the turnover.
Now on first down, they pitch it over the right side to Crispin. Malcolm finds a little crease, then is dropped right around the 19-yard line. Again coming across for English is Tyrese Ford.
High pitch, and Crispin brings it down. So the thing about Crispin is so quick. He's on the move before he even tucks the ball in. And you very seldom say a sophomore 150-pound back is your workhorse, but
right.
That's the case with Latin Academy.
That's what we're getting right now. Haven't seen Robert Merrick come back in yet, so you wonder if he got banged up.
I was just going to say, he started the game with that one carry, so maybe he's just not ready to play full time.
On second down is Crispin again. Plows forward past the 15 up to the 14-yard line. I believe that's a first down for Latin Academy.
Okay, you just asked for him, Pat. Merrick is coming back in now. After that first down gain by Crispin. Merrick's back in the huddle. Latin Academy trying to take advantage of the turnover. Fumble on the missed exchange, and now Dragons driving.
So now it's Merrick, and it looks like Bazile in the backfield for Latin Academy. It's Merrick with the carry here on first down. A tall running back gets inside the 10-yard line down to the 9 for Latin Academy.
Yeah, obviously Merrick with that much bigger size runs with a little more power. Like you mentioned, with that height of his, long strides, gets a few yards before he even has contact.
He's one of those backs where even when he falls down,
he's going to gain something.
He's
Exactly.
so tall.
Right.
So 6-yard pickup there on first down. It'll be second down and 4 now for the Dragons.
I formation. Merrick deep back in the eye. Here we go.
Give it to Merrick again. This time, going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
That good pursuit coming up from the defensive backfield for English. Like I said, Merrick more of a power runner. Just trying to find a crease. Swarm tackle. Exelholm turned them back inside. Let his teammates make the tackle.
Got some fans here tonight, braving the cold weather. As we mentioned, though, not too bad tonight. I mean, for late November, mid to late November football weather, this isn't bad. We're actually kind of lucking out here in Boston.
Most definitely.
Tonight. If the game was tomorrow, where it's going to be a high of 35, it'd be a different story. 3rd and 2 now for the Dragons. Merrick finds the edge. Does he find the end zone?
Yes.
Yes, he does. Oh, no, they mark him out of bounds. They marked Merrick out of bounds inside the 5.
Yeah, looks like one official was getting ready to put his arms up, but he deferred to the closer official. Watch it again. Merrick trying to just get him outside. Has Bazile in front of him to block.
I think he stepped out right there.
Okay, I think he lost track of where he was, how close he was to the sideline.
Now on first down, I believe that was Maffeo taking it himself, and he scores the touchdown for Latin Academy. Zach Maffeo punches it in for the Dragons, so they score first here in the second quarter at Boston English.
Safest play in football. Quarterback keeper, short yardage. Latin Academy has a extra point kicker, but it looks like Maffeo's still in there. They don't go for 2. We actually did the game earlier this season when they played Boston Latin and lost 8-7 because they didn't go for 2 on their touchdown.
This time they pitch it to Merrick. Merrick's going to be dropped before the goal line, so no 2-point conversion.
That was a good one-on-one job.
That was Jonathan
English.
Pierre-Joseph in there on the tackle.
Yeah. Watch Pierre-Joseph, left of your screen. Watch him come up, takes the right angle, forces Merrick to try to overpower him, but not able to use that length of his to get in, to stretch in. Also, Andre Owens up there.
So no 2-point conversion that time for Latin Academy, but they do score the touchdown here with 5:45 left to go in the second quarter. And after a lot of the first half, we didn't see a lot of progression or sustained drives for either team. Latin Academy recovered a fumble inside of English territory.
They took a turnover, yeah. When you get perfect field position like that, then Crispin does his job to get them inside the 10, and then Merrick and Maffeo finish it off.
6-play, 30-yard touchdown drive for the Dragons. Zayas on the kick. Script kick for him. Omari Stevens fields up at the 24-yard line, and Omari is dragged down at the 31, so that's where English will have their next possession.
Well, see if this defensive trend continues. Kickoff, short yardage on the kickoff, but last time English had the ball, they were plagued by that missed handoff, which gave Latin Academy on their way to their first score. They only scored the game so far. We talked about Exahome before the game. I really think that English has got to try to find some way to get him involved. He's in the slot right now.
Keyshawn Kerr, the deep back, and they give it to him on first down.
Oh, look.
Kerr with a nice run as he bounces to the outside. Keyshawn Kerr brought down at the 47-yard line.
Talk about getting off the spot. I mean, it's like, watch Keyshawn. It's Kerr. Takes a hit. Nice 17-yard gain.
48 yards on 4 carries now for Keyshawn Kerr. He's really been the only player that's been able to pick up big chunks of yardage so far for Boston English.
Well, like I said, he's got enough size to run inside and outside. He definitely has great, excellent speed.
Now on first down for English, Smith going to the air. Looking down the right side for Olagon, the tight end. He's got it. Down near the 10-yard line.
You know, Pat, we hear coaches talk about all the time when you have a height advantage, excuse me, such a height advantage, sometimes you just want to throw it up. Let your taller guy go after it. This time, we're talking about Smith put the ball in perfect position. It wasn't a matter of a jump ball. Olagun had beaten the safety and a 45-yard bomb to put them inside the 10-yard line.
English was looking for a big play here in the first half. They got it that time. 45-yard connection, 1st and 10 from the 10, now for English. Handoff over the left side. And once again on the sweep that time was Pedro Barrero.
I'll tell you, English really spreading around the carries. Trying to catch Latin Academy. A little off balance. You see Pedro, nice cut. Stop just short of the goal line. Yeah, that's no surprise. 5 different running backs have had carries so far.
You see Anthony Whitney, the offensive coordinator for Boston English. He was the starting quarterback for East Boston a few years ago. Played for Coach Conway and, of course, head coach Parziali. Second down and
what's that about? Goal, yeah, from about the 5.
This time it's Kerr with the carry. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not Keyshawn Kerr. That's the big fella. Tyrese Ford with the carry.
Okay. Yeah, we've seen Ford. We've seen Ford make a couple of nice defensive plays so far, but this time in the backfield, nice little sidestep for his size, and then uses his bulk to push forward for an extra yard.
It's gonna be 3rd and goal right around the 2, maybe the 3-yard line for Boston English.
Might be a time to go back to Kerr. He gets off the spot so quickly.
He also could throw it up to the big fella.
Oh yeah, that's always an option.
3rd and goal now for English. Kerr, the deep back. They give it to him. Keyshawn.
Oh yeah.
Fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Boston English.
No surprise. I mean, Kerr had the huge run to set up the 45-yard bomb, and now Kerr finishes it off. It's like his running style. The close quarters, ran through the first arm tackle, second arm tackle, and able to hit pay dirt.
5-play, 69-yard touchdown drive for Boston English, highlighted by that Ja'Kai Smith to Hakeem Olagon 45-yard pass connection. Keyshawn Kerr caps it off with a 3-yard touchdown run. Eagles now looking to take the lead on this 2-point conversion. Here's another replay of the touchdown run.
Watch Kerr. He gets hit right there, but he runs through. That was Crispin trying to bring him down. Couldn't quite do it.
Smith over the right side. What a catch by Olagon for the 2-point conversion.
You know, we had them earlier. We talked about his big hands and long arms, and that was a perfect example of it. And some agility to dive, catch that while he was prone.
Let's see that again.
Yeah, watched it with the big fella. Actually throwing a little too far in front of him, but sometimes a receiver can make the quarterback look good.
That's a heck of a catch by the big tight end, Hakeem Olagon. Here's one more look at it.
Zip the pass out there. That was really nice. That's
stretching out for that one. I think he's one of those receivers that likes the gloves.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's a good choice for him. I mean, one of the games we did earlier, he played quarterback.
That's right.
And to show his versatility, even though he has all that size.
Tell you, the Boston English has a lot of sophomores and juniors coming back next year. But even just talking to Coach Conway, he said, I wish I had one more year of Hakeem Olagon. He's a senior this year, and he's certainly going to miss him next season.
Well, plus you're going to miss the locker room leadership.
That's right.
Which is a big deal.
Onside kick there for Boston English.
Still
floating around, and now it's out of bounds. And a referee's going to say the ball was out.
They get the right call. Ball did bounce out before English to corral it.
Didn't seem like anybody really had possession of it.
Oh, now they're going to talk about it. Looked like the linesman made the call first, but the ball bounced out of bounds. See, it's squibbing around there. And
looks like it's out when it's out of bounds when it was recovered.
Looks like Exelholm got it, but he was already out of bounds. Officials making sure that they all agree on the call.
Yep, so it is going to be Latin Academy football. They will take over at their own 47-yard line here with 2:49 left to go in the second quarter. Crispin, the man in motion, he gets the carry on the sweep, finds a seam. Malcolm Crispin to the outside. He shoved out of bounds right around the 40-yard line, so that'll be another first down for the Latin Academy Dragons.
He ran a long way to get a 13-yard gain, but you see his speed. Actually outran a couple of his blockers there, but was able to get himself to the sideline. Yeah. See, now the offenses are starting to pick up. Happens a lot in high school. Once a team scores, other team wants to jump right back and,
that's right.
and get back in it. So first quarter all defense, second quarter much more offense.
It's time the handoff is to Cruz, and once again, English all over it. Hakeem Olagon.
Yeah. We talked about the tall defensive end for Latin Academy, Sahajian. Olagon, same thing on that right defensive end. And a lot of times for high school players, it's just so tempting to run quickly to the backfield on an angle, but that's usually how a running backs get out to the sideline. Olagon did the right thing. He came across straight, forced Cruz to try to cut back in. No room whatsoever.
Second 13 now for Latin Academy. Maffeo looking for his receiver. He's got him right around the 34-yard line.
Good pattern and well-thrown ball.
It was Tyreek Williams on the reception.
Yeah, but because of the last play they're throwing for a loss, you see Williams is still going to be a third and about 4.
I think if you're talking about quarterbacks in the city of Boston, I think Zach Maffeo is probably the best thrower overall. You got Julius Gillard, who's probably the best overall athlete.
Right.
Michael Brooks, who's had a really nice season for O'Brien's probably the best dual threat quarterback. But I think Zach, if you're talking about pure passers, is probably the best.
Well, we've seen him throw the sideline patterns in the past. We've seen him throw long passes. So you're probably right. He probably has more of a variety of throws. So
can't forget Ja'Kai Smith either. I've seen him throw that 45-yard bomb earlier.
Yeah, well, Ja'Kai, and I think he just may not be 100% because a lot of his game, matter of fact, in the game we saw him earlier in the season, he rolled out a lot and threw the football.
That's right.
It's not the case now, but even if you're limited, you can still do some things well. And right now, Smith has his team ahead 8-6. Now, 4-down territory for Latin Academy.
They'll be faced with a 3rd and 4 here. They got to get it to the 30-yard line for a first down. This time it's Crispin with the carry, trying to get to the outside. Spin moves. Does he get there? I think he's just short. About a half a yard short there for Malcolm Crispin.
First time we saw Tyrese Ford not able to make the hit and the immediate tackle. Crispin been talking about his lightweight, but that time he was able to spin away. A timeout, looks like on Latin Academy.
First timeout called by the Dragons with 1:16 left to go here in the second quarter.
Oh, I mean, the game has been just as even as the score is right now. 8-6 English. Now Latin Academy trying to answer with their second score before halftime.
First half is flying by here.
So much
Both
running.
Teams running the
Pretty
ball
much
so
all
well.
running, yeah.
The wind not too bad tonight, but there is a little bit of a few gusts coming through. Neither team throwing the ball too much.
Oh,
they both have completions.
I was going to say, in general, both these coaches, like we talked about them being veteran coaches, both of them ideally would just like to run every play.
That's right.
And if you can get first downs, keep going down the field, they really would prefer not to have to throw the ball. I mean, that 45-yard bomb, that was successful more because of the element of surprise than anything else. When you have Olagun, who's usually like a tight end, you split him out as a split end. Even though he's double covered, the safety came over to help out, and he still was able to get it.
Maffeo takes it himself.
Get the first down.
And easily gets the first down as gets the quarterback keeper up to the 27-yard line.
Now they're going to go no huddle now. Greg winding down to the last minute of the half. They got to wait until the yard markers are set.
First down is Maffeo going to the air. Got to get rid of it. Ball was dropped and probably better for Latin Academy.
Definitely better. Incomplete pass to stop the clock.
Intended receiver was Josh DeBarros.
And Maffeo got some late pressure and jump pass. You don't see them much too often.
I don't know if Coach Caesar wants to see his starting quarterback jumping and throwing the ball
I was going to say,
that.
especially with the defender bearing down on you like that.
57 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Second down and 10 now for Latin Academy from the English 28-yard line. Man in motion is Crispin. Maffeo looking for his receiver, and the ball is not caught. That wasn't Crispin, excuse me. That was Josh DeBarros again. And he was not able to haul up in the pass. It was a nice design play there from the Dragons.
He went in motion from right to left, and he was the intended receiver on the wheel route, and the way he went down, he may have actually had the wind knocked out of him.
Barrows now down on the field.
You watch, he's in motion, and he's the prime receiver. A little high for him, but good effort. Actually, shoulder. He's holding his right shoulder. Took a tough tumble as he was trying to dive for that football. And he's also still angry he didn't make the catch.
Right,
so.
right. That doesn't help.
He doesn't want to help. He doesn't want to help get him off the field. Like you said, well-designed play, though. Because they put him in motion from right to left, and once he hits the line of scrimmage, he just flies down that left sideline.
Third and 10 now for Latin Academy. Maffeo with a little bit of time, has to get rid of it, finds Cruz near the sideline. Mark him out of bounds right around the 21-yard line.
Good job on Maffeo. Late throw, got some pressure. He was trying to go to the middle. And you see Cruz, sort of a safety valve out to the sideline.
This will be 4th and about 3 for Latin Academy. Dragons still with a couple timeouts, so they could run it here and then call timeout.
They got Crispin back in there.
Maffeo back of the end zone for Steele, and the pass is broken up. Good coverage that time.
Excellent
for Boston
coverage.
English.
Almost an interception.
Jonathan Pierre Joseph blanketing Malachi Steele in the end zone.
And the key to the play, Pat, he looked back for the ball. A lot of times you see cornerbacks who don't look back. This time he looked back and actually put himself in a better position to catch it. So another good defensive stand for English.
So with 36 seconds left here in the second quarter, Boston English will take over.
If you want to just play it safe and take your 8-6 lead into halftime. You know what, Coach Conway, he likes taking chances.
He does. He does.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him play this one safe.
Exelholm in the slot, now man in motion. Smith back to throw. So Kai Smith nowhere to go. He's wrapped up in the backfield.
Yeah, he's not 100%. We've seen him so many times in the past. He gets away from that kind of pressure.
Philip Avon in there to make the sack.
So he makes a little bit of a run, reverses field here, but right there he usually has a little bit of a burst. It's just not there.
I think English might let this run down.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna go to halftime.
So that is going to do it for the first half here at Boston English High, as the English Eagles have a 2-point lead over Latin Academy, 8-6 here at the half. And
if you like defense, first quarter. If you like offense, second quarter.
That's right.
A little bit of everything, right?
Right. Different stories for each quarter that time. And Latin Academy, they feasted off the turnover. That's
Definitely.
how they got their first touchdown. Meanwhile, Boston English feasted off that big 45-yard touchdown.
Huge play. Well, it started out with Kerr's run. Okay, Kerr had like a 17-yard run from scrimmage. Then the English came back and with the element of surprise, had a tight end go out as a wide receiver, all going with that height of his and those good hands. That's the key thing,
That's
good
right.
hands. Makes a 45-yard bomb. Then you get the touchdown, and Olgun again gets a 2-point conversion with a really nice diving catch. So English 2-point lead at halftime.
That's right. Latin Academy has gotten a couple of turnovers against Boston English, but just the one touchdown. They did have a chance to try to put some more points on the board, but wasn't able to sustain a drive.
Well, both teams, it's interesting. Late in the season, I guess I don't know if it's the playoff hangover or what, because you get so hyped up for an actual playoff game to try to move on from round to round. Like you said, Latin Academy is the only Boston team that made it to the second round.
That's right.
But defense dominated early on, and second half is sort of up for grabs.
That's right. We'll see if these defenses continue to do what they're doing. One of the head coaches, Rocco Ziza of Latin Academy, is down on the field with our sideline reporter, Michelle Fenelon. So, Michelle, take it away.
I'm here with Latin Academy head coach Rocco Ziza. Coach, defensive game so far. What has worked for your defense?
Well, we just figured it would be a defensive game, but we gave up one long pass, and that's been the difference so far. So, you got to play perfect at times, and we're not playing perfect. We made one mistake on a pass, and that's what happens.
Robert Merrick is his first game back. What have you liked from him?
Well, he's leaning forward, and he's picking up yards, the tough yards, and we'll probably do a lot more of them in the second half.
How do you get him in your offense going in the second half?
We just got to hold on to the ball and execute a little bit better, right? That's all we got to do.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks very much, Michelle. And Coach Ziza.
That's how Coach likes it. Quick and to the point. So I can get back to my guy and yell at him.
Well, it is. A lot of coaches in the city, I think, would agree with
yeah. You saw him sort of leaning away.
Right.
Michelle
I got to go talk to my guy.
She only had a couple of good questions.
That's right.
And so I think she could read that, figure it out.
No question.
Okay, I'm not going to hold you here. You can go.
It's good to hear that Robert Merrick is going to get some more carries in the second half. Wasn't quite sure how his ankle would be feeling after the sprained ankle kept him out a couple of weeks.
And what's strange is, over the years of artificial turf, there have been a lot of different positions on it and different opinions. Quite frankly, a lot of younger players don't like the turf when they have ankle problems because they think that it actually allows them to roll their ankle again more easily. Now, we only saw Merrick the touchdown drive, he was in there the entire time. He started the game with the first carry of the game, but not much after that. And we wasn't even on the field that often. So hopefully he was all right. He might have to get retaped or something and to have it checked out. But you're right. He's a key guy in that offense to go along with the speedy Crispin.
No question. We'll see if Latin Academy's offense can get going in the second half. Both these defenses, I think, are geared up for the second half as well. So it should be a fun last couple of quarters here at Boston English High. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the third quarter. Actually, we'll have our halftime stats and some halftime highlights here for Boston English here on Game of the Week. Make sure you stick around.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
You want to step out of the vehicle for me?
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing. And it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys. Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
About inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education. No one receives a diploma alone. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Oh, thank you. Did you see anyone's broccoli? You moved this? Thanks for helping us. No problem. You're welcome.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Boston English High School in Jamaica Plain, here for Game of the Week. Right now, the English Eagles lead the Latin Academy Dragons 8-6. And we're going to take a look at some halftime highlights of Keyshawn Kerr, one of the better running backs for Boston English.
Now, he's the one for English who's been able to get some yardage on his own pretty much. As you see him running right both occasions. This was the 17-yarder. Then Kerr again up the middle. Cuts outside, loves to get to that sideline. Really good all-around young and free young player. Got the only touchdown for English. This is a good effort. Runs through an arm tackle, another one to dive into the end zone. So English with an 8-6 lead after the Olagun catch for the two-point conversion. I'll tell you, Pat, it just seems like both coaches are getting what they want offensively, but
right.
the defenses are just playing much better.
Let's take a look at the halftime stats here before we get going in the third quarter. And first up is going to be Latin Academy.
Latin Academy, Crispin, 9 carries, 54 yards. Merritt, only 5 carries. Excuse me. The second half, I'm sure we'll see him with a lot more than 5.
That's right.
Receiving, both Cruz and Williams both have 1 catch, and Maffeo overall 3 for 6 for 20 yards.
Let's take a look at English's halftime stats.
English Kerr, as we talked about him, has the touchdown plus 51 yards with 5 carries. Poirier with 7 yards on 2 carries. Olagun, 2 catches, the big 45-yarder, and then, of course, the second one was a 2-point conversion. Smith, 2 for 2 for 48 yards.
There are those halftime stats. We got 2 of those catches also from Hakeem Olagun. A couple of highlights from the first half.
There's the one that caught by surprise. Beautifully thrown ball. Olagun splits the 2 defenders. Nice catch, and just sort of trips his way inside the 10-yard line. And this is the really good catch. That
was pretty.
Really good quality. Like you said, they had the gloves on. They able to make that 2-point conversion to give English the 8-6 lead right now.
So Latin Academy set to kick off here in the third quarter. Boston English to receive. Omari Stevens back to receive for Boston English. That time fielded right around the 22-yard line. And being shoved out of bounds that time was number 14, Giovanni Antoine.
Well, let's see if the offenses are going to stay with what they were doing in the first half. It was, mildly successful, but both teams, especially near the end of the season, they have some trick plays. You like to sort of throw them out there to see if you can catch somebody by surprise. But again, we're talking about both of these teams wrapping things up. 9 games. Latin Academy was 6-3.
That's right.
While English 4-5. English obviously wants to get back to 500 before their big Thanksgiving tilt with Boston Latin.
And Latin Academy will be facing O'Brien on Thanksgiving morning, as they have the past several years. The winner of that game will win the Boston North.
That's right. That's right. So it's something to play for.
That's right. English starting on their own 30-yard line, getting the carry on first down was Keyshawn Curry, picked up 2 on the play.
Yeah, Keyshawn. Again, running into
Crispin getting in there.
He's taking hits on both sides of the football. But he sticks his nose in there all the time. I mean, he's, like we said, one of the speedier guys on the Latin Academy defense, but the way they're playing so close to the line of scrimmage against this English running attack, he's more like in a linebacker position.
2nd and 8 now for English, and a bad snap, and we have some early movement.
It was a dead ball anyway. Luckily for English, because Smith actually lost that snap.
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Michelle Fenelon, our sideline reporter, has got an update for us. Michelle, what's happening?
Guys, we saw number 20, Josh DeBarris, go down late in the second quarter. They are calling it a right injury, a right shoulder bruise. He has not been ruled out yet. However, he told coaching staff he could not lift his arm, and he also didn't participate in second half warm-ups. Guys?
Michelle, thanks very
He's
much.
ruled out.
DeBarros
He ruled
on the
himself
far
out,
side.
right? Yeah. I mean, it's too bad too. He made a nice effort, just couldn't bring in the catch.
2nd and 13 now for Boston English. Smith again back to throw, and he's going to be bottled up in the backfield, nowhere to go with it. That's another indication there, Alan, like you said in the first half. He didn't try to scramble very much there.
I mean, and like I said, he can throw the ball on the move, so for him to not be able to get away from that initial pressure, he slipped a little bit right there, but
yeah.
Good. Excellent pursuit by Latin Academy.
Phil Avon, who's been in the backfield a lot tonight, getting in there on the sack.
You know, Rocco Zezer has told his team, listen, we do not want any of those long completions again. Like he told Michelle at halftime, he said, hey, he pointed that out as the one mistake the whole half defensively. Right. Give up a 45-yard, catch and run, puts you in, put your defense inside the 5-yard line, 10-yard line. You're not going to recover from that.
English now at the 19-yard line, so 3rd and 21 now for the Eagles. And they got another fumble. And English does recover right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I tell you, these are the kind of mistakes that you look to see in the beginning of a game, but here they come out of halftime.
Josiah Jean again.
Luckily, Jean jumped on it, so at least give his team a chance to punt the ball out. But that was a real nothing drive to start the 3rd quarter.
Crispin back to receive for Latin Academy.
Now, because English has to have maximum protection for the puncher, Crispin might have a chance, if it's more of a line drive punch, to get a decent return. He can get a good head of steam with that speed of his.
Jean again back to kick. His last punt went just 8 yards. Much better punt this time. Yeah. End over end kick. Latin Academy trying to make sure they stay away from it as Boston English downs it at the 43-yard line. English is saying it did hit Latin Academy
player.
So English recovers at the 43. That's just a tough break for the Dragons.
It is, because the player was trying to get out of the way.
He was.
Football will just bounce so many crazy ways. So you have the blocker peeling back. Yeah, it did hit him in the ankle, yeah. Because you saw him run out, try to run after it, but then he tried to play it off by backing up. This is a tough break.
Darwin Soto there for the recovery. So English takes over at the 43-yard line of Latin Academy. Here with just over 9 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Jakai Smith back to throw down the right side, and that's almost intercepted. Boy, Rafael Cruz was just waiting there with bated breath.
Olgan played defense on that one. He couldn't get it himself. He just made sure that Cruz couldn't pull it in. I mean, Cruz didn't expect the wide receiver to come across and knock it away, but watch Cruz. Like you say, he's in perfect position. He's waiting for the ball. I think if he'd known Olgan was coming at it, he might have stepped up to try to make the catch. But you talk about a receiver turning into a defensive player to save the possession. That's exactly what happened. Olgan just does a lot of smart things out there.
Sticking his long arm and big hand in there for Boston English. Huge play there by Olagon to prevent a turnover again for English.
Now Olagon's going to be the quarterback.
Yeah, you got Smith at the bottom of your screen as the running back. Olagon going to take the direct snap, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. First it was Phil Avon grabbing the jersey and then coming across to make the big hit. That time was number 17, Nathan Polonese.
Polonese, watch 7 Polonese, like you said, finish them off. Yeah, Olgan's a big hit, so it takes a lot to be dropping him like that.
English now faced with a 3rd and 12 from the Latin Academy 45-yard line. Talk about Boston English, how their next game on Thanksgiving is a big game. You know, if they win today, they're 5-5. Then if they beat Latin School, 6-5 season, above 500. So even though
especially for so many young players, you're right. That's important. It's like anything else. People always talk about short term, long term, and right now, obviously, short term, you want to get this win tonight. Everyone's excited for the Thanksgiving annual game. Historically, annual game with English. English has had a tough time getting the win on Thanksgiving for a number of years.
That's right.
This year, Coach Conway thinks his team has a very good chance of knocking off Latin.
Well, English will be at Harvard Stadium to face Latin. We will be over at White Stadium Thanksgiving morning at 9:30 a.m. for the Eastie-Southie game. We were supposed to be there last year, but then Arctic temperatures came through Boston. Last Thanksgiving, it was about 11 degrees out, never mind the wind chill. So we hope for better weather this year, and East Boston taking on Southie for the 101st time in their history.
A lot of tradition and history in this region of the country. Thanksgiving football games. It's funny too, because obviously a lot of students come from all around the world here, and some of the sports fans just aren't familiar.
They don't get
the
it.
Tradition of okay, you're gonna get up Thanksgiving morning and go to a football game. Yeah.
Don't you guys do that? No.
Never heard of that.
It's really only in the New England region. Definitely Massachusetts. Rhode Island as well.
Literally, a couple of those rivalries go back to the late 1800s.
That's right.
That's how long it is.
English and Latin the longest. Eastie, Southie long as well. Smith again looking deep. This time, Malachi Steele was trying for the interception. Sorry, that was Tyreek Williams looking for the interception. It was broken up by another Boston English receiver. That's the time Giovanni Antoine.
Yeah, Antoine, I'm not sure if one of these two receivers were in the wrong position, because it gave Smith really no passing lane. So I'm guessing that one receiver was supposed to go longer, and the other one was supposed to pull up. But you never want to have two receivers in that much of a close proximity, because it's going to draw many defenders, like you see right there. There's 3 Latin Academy defensive backs out there. So English not able to take advantage of that opportunity. We're getting the muffed punt. So they're going to try to pin Latin Academy really deep.
It's Gene back to punt once again. His last kick was for 35 yards, I believe, on the punt. Another end-over-end kick for Gene. Crispin, again, can't field it cleanly. Malcolm Crispin recovers at the 26-yard line.
Well, one thing he's having a tough time tonight is with these punt returns. The very first one bounced off his shoulder. That one, he was trying to catch on the run because you saw a lot of running. Look in front of him. He had some running room.
Yeah, his eyes opened up.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, like sauces.
That's right.
It's a tough break, but he was able to hustle, use his quickness to retain possession. But he had some running room in front of him. Crispin going to go out and he's going to get a mouthful, or earful rather.
He's banged up a little bit.
Yeah, he's limping off.
Limping a little bit off the field.
He even limps quickly.
Right.
Like
very swift getting off the field. On first down, that was Merrick with the carry. Picked up a couple up to the 29-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 8 now for Latin Academy.
You gotta hope that Crispin's okay, because he's a fun player to watch.
He is.
Merrick. The size get you a little bit of a gain. Now Latin Academy is due for a sort of a play fake and a pass downfield, because like you said, Maffeo has the arm pretty much to throw it anywhere in the field.
Very wide splits for Latin Academy linemen here as they hand off over the left side of Merrick.
Yeah.
This time Merrick with a full head of steam past the 40-yard line up to the 43.
Well
42.
blocked. That was well blocked, Pat. They set that one up nicely. And again, the key to it is the running back Merrick. Take your time and wait till the opening is there. Make that final cut, runs through arm tackle, and easy first down.
Malcolm Crispin back in there for Latin Academy, along with Merrick and Cruz in the backfield to join Zach Maffeo. They run it with Crispin, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. Again, coming across for Boston English is Tyrese Ford.
Ford has had a defensive game. To be able to run down Crispin before he can get started. Interesting to see. Ford was the one who couldn't grab Merrick on that last play for the first down. But he was able to get Crispin. Huge loss. Defenses making just as many big plays as the offenses.
Tyrese Ford, just a sophomore for Boston English.
Like we were saying earlier, a lot of young players for next season.
Both teams, a lot of juniors and sophomores. Second and long now for Latin Academy. Almost intercepted that time.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Pat, he didn't get it, but he really was able to break the concentration for Crispin. I think Crispin lost sight of this football. See, there's the defender coming up. Yeah. That's by jumping in front.
It's Jamari Howard.
Yeah, Crispin, I really believe, lost sight of the ball for a split second. That's all you need to have an incompletion. Because he had the entire sideline.
Oh, that would have been an easy pick six.
You know, Ryan, coach is going to say, listen, don't be going for that, taking that chance. Because if he catches it, he's gone. Yeah, the only thing, Crispin's had a tough day trying to catch the football.
Cruz with the carry now, and Raphael with the most daylight he's seen this evening.
By far.
Gets up to the 42-yard line, but it's going to be about 10 yards short of the first down.
Safe play. Cruz, like you said, by far the most room he's had. And
Ford again.
Coming across. Ford flying away. Well, he's middle linebacker. His job is to find the ball, get to it. Going back to receive for English will be, is it Antoine?
Yeah, Giovanni Antoine. Merrick again going to line up and probably do that quick punt. Spiraling kick that bounces up to the 23. Antoine on the return down the sideline. Giovanni Antoine brings it all the way down to the 43-yard line of Latin Academy.
Excellent job. And I'm telling you, I always talk about how it's about to make a firm decision. He decided, even though the ball was bouncing, he was going to get it and get right into gear. Good job down the sideline, right in front of all his teammates. Love seeing that. See Smith trying to loosen up those legs. He's been standing on the sideline for a while. Watch it again. See, he made the decision, switched the ball to the outside like he's supposed to, and excellent return.
– 31-yard return after the 31-yard kick. So now on first down, it's Smith.
He missed the handoff.
Take it himself as Kerr missed the handoff. Smith makes his way up to the 39-yard line.
That's a timing
3-yard
play.
pickup.
A lot of high schools use that now. The way that the runner in motion gets a direct handoff, but you see the timing's off. Kerr's already passed him before the ball can get to him. So, and the reason it looks like it was missed because you can see how Smith just took where am I? Smith's type of a step.
Kind of gathered himself.
But he'll just make something out of it.
Second down and 7. They see a little bit of limp from Smith. Is that ankle
that's
injury
got to be
lingers.
frustrating because end of the season you want to finish off strong. But we've seen him with some excellent runs here.
Second and 7 now for Boston English. Handoff here on second down.
Yeah, it was Kerr. Yeah. You can tell by the running style. I couldn't see the number, but
he goes through the line so fast.
Right, it's like a sprinter getting out of the blocks.
He is quick.
Good job, keep holding on to that one. One of the defenders actually got a hand on the ball.
It'll be 3rd down and 3 now for Boston English at the Latin Academy 35-yard line.
You got Antoine out in front of us, single coverage.
The handoff to ball carry there, Josiah Jean.
Oh, Jean got that one, okay. So that's going to be a 4th and about
gain.
2.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and 2.
Yeah.
at the 34-yard line.
Again, defensively, it seems like Latin Academy is just going straight man-to-man to cover the receivers to allow that the extra defenders at the line of scrimmage, like that front 7, or in this case, front 8. Basically playing without a free safety. Well, a free safety position. 4th and 2.
4th and 2 here for Boston English. Just under 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Pitch it over the left side. It's Gene trying to get to the edge. He
nice
does.
cut. Yeah.
Makes his way inside the 30-yard line, and he's down at the 19.
I'll tell you, give him credit, Pat, because if he had rushed that run, he probably would have been stopped. He took his time, allowed the defenders to lose their angle. Right here, see, if he tried to cut back in, he would have been stopped. But he made sure that the defender overran it. Like you said, getting inside the 30-yard line, give him the first down. Nice, smart run.
You've seen him fumble a couple of times tonight. That time he covered the ball up with two hands as he was getting contact.
Well, he knew he had the first down coming, so he wasn't going to give up possession.
So English now with a first down from the Latin Academy 29-yard line.
Trying to get one of these grinded-out drives after that nice punt return.
Handoff on first down. Short gain on that play after Pedro Barrero got the carry.
These running backs are playing for English. They've got to be excited. I mean, you use so many, you literally never tell, can never tell when it's going to be my turn. I mean, Kerr, clearly is the best of all of them, but the other kids do get chances. So it's 7 now. 7 different running backs have had carries. Olagun, I think English is still waiting for Olagun to get single coverage, get the safety, helping double coverage for Olagun. Here's the handoff.
Barrero on the sweep to the other side, and again, nowhere to go. Might have picked up a yard.
That was just good pursuit. I mean, he had to make a quick decision, and he decided to cut back in to the end of the third quarter, but he actually had some room on the outside.
End of the third here at English High. You see Merrick getting back into the action for Latin Academy, but it's English still with a 2-point lead. Come right back for the fourth quarter here on Game of the Week.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Folks, welcome back to Boston English High School in Jamaica Plain for Game of the Week. Right now, the Boston English Eagles lead the Latin Academy Dragons 8-6. Just about ready to start the fourth quarter here at Boston English. This is a regular season game after both teams were eliminated from the playoffs. English 2 weeks ago lost to Keefe Tech. Meanwhile, Latin Academy, after winning their first round playoff game, lost in the second round to number 1 seed Manchester Essex, who I believe is either playing tonight or tomorrow night for the sectional finals.
Talking about the Keefe Tech game, the English 23-20, lose it by 3 points. As you mentioned, that Manchester Essex team must be something. They shut out this Latin Academy team.
And they actually beat English earlier in the regular season with the same score, 28-0.
Yeah.
Now on third down for Boston English, Smith escaping pressure, showing off those wheels, and that time he's wrapped up at the 26-yard line. So About a
that time
4-yard
he looked a
gain.
little more like the old Smith. You see the defensive back running behind him. He felt that coming, or he heard the footsteps and was able to move it forward, make a 4th and it's 4th and 6. So good to see him able to be mobile again.
See what Boston English does here on 4th down.
Okay, Ola going up top of the screen. Again, they're giving him double coverage.
Exel home. Now it's a big fella, Gene, getting the carry. And
yeah, they were trying to
he's
sneak him
wrapped
through.
Up.
Yeah, they just try a little trickery there as they they faked the handoff to Exelholm, and they were trying to sneak Gene through the middle, but Latin Academy was having none of that.
Turnover on downs there for Boston English. Latin Academy takes over. Our sideline reporter, Michelle Fenelon's got an update for us. Michelle, what do you got going on?
Guys, we saw English quarterback Ja'Kai Smith use his legs a little bit on that drive, but that's something he has the ability to do. But the English coaching staff actually wants to limit him from doing that. And I asked head coach Ryan Conway, how do you do that when he's watching a quarterback like Lamar Jackson have an MVP season with his legs for the Baltimore Ravens? And he said, simple. I tell him, Lamar Jackson works out every day. I don't want him taking unnecessary hits. I want him to play smarter, not harder. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Michelle. And Ja'Kai Smith, as good of a runner as he is the coaches want him to not take as many hits like Michelle mentioned.
Well, I mean, the key is, the fact of the matter is he's more valuable as the quarterback running the offense. And with his arm, his handoffs, controlling the huddle. You can't do that if you're banged up on the sideline.
Malcolm Crispin nowhere to go there on 1st down, and 2nd down and 9 now for Latin Academy. Crispin again, the deep back for the Dragons. Pitch to Crispin over the right side. Malcolm this time with some space. And he's dragged down right around the 34-yard line. So gain of about 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd and a short 2. Make that 3rd and a short 2, for Latin Academy.
Just like those those quick steps for Crispin. He must run the dash for the track team. He's got to.
He's got it.
The way he can get off his spot, and very similar to Kerr with English.
Yeah, those two guys got to be on the track team for their respective schools. 3rd and 2 now for Latin Academy as Maffeo takes it himself and makes his way up to the 38-yard line.
Well, you talked about tall players using their length to lean forward. And Maffeo's listed close to 6 feet. Merrick, we talked about him earlier. Same situation. He's actually 6'2".
Yeah, see Maffeo there, sort of like when Tom Brady does the quarterback sneak. He finds the crease in between the two linemen.
Leans right into it, yeah.
So it's a 1st down for Latin Academy.
You definitely don't have to be a good runner to be an effective quarterback. If you do everything else, you control the huddle, get your teammates in the right position, and throw the ball well.
Pitch it to Crispin again, Malcolm. That time dropped right around the 39-yard line. Make that the 40.
With Crispin, it just seems like he's so close to breaking a long run.
I'm sorry, that was Crispin.
Yeah, that's Crispin.
Saw Cruz out there as well.
Now, Cruz has pretty much been relegated to be the lead blocker tonight. He has a handful of carries, but only had 1 for close to 10 yards.
2nd down and 8 now for Latin Academy.
Crispin,
Maffeo wants to call timeout.
Yeah, the waste of timeout. Crispin, I think, either lapsed on his assignment, but he definitely came on the motion late. That would have thrown the timing off for the handoff. He was probably going to get that handoff coming right to left, and Maffeo very smartly knew that, okay, well, Crispin's supposed to be moving. He's not. This isn't going to, he won't be here in time. And again, it's key because with the new rules, only 3 timeouts per half we've seen. So it's not like in previously where 5 timeouts a half. you could burn one without worrying about it. But when you're behind 2 points. You know you have to score. You're down to 8:16 to go in the game. Plenty of time, but again,
especially with a tight game like this.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? This is crucial. You never know when you're going to have to stop the clock.
Coming out of the timeout. 2nd down and 8 now for Latin Academy. They run the scissor play inside, and this time it's Cruz with some daylight. Cruz gets to the 48-yard line. I believe that's going to be just enough for a first down, but coming across.
I tell you,
that time was Jonathan Pierre Joseph.
Okay, now Pierre Joseph, let's see where they mark this because, okay, they're going to give him a first down.
Yeah. Actually gave it to him at midfield. I didn't think he got quite there.
Yeah, he looked like he was at the 49.
Still would have been a first down.
Yeah, that's the key.
Oh, now they're moving it back.
Right, yeah, the 2 linesmen talked to him. Well, actually, they're going to argue now because the other one's coming from the opposite side saying, no, it's at the 50. So, yeah, let's watch it. What do we say? Okay, we have the
I think it's at the
angle,
48, which is right where the marker was.
See, he gets hit. Yeah, he's definitely down at the 48.
Yeah, which he's definitely, and that's where the first down was.
Well,
and now they move it back to midfield.
I think the lineman is saying that the line. I really do think that. Yeah, and Conway's challenging him. He's saying, "Wait a minute, it's right in front of me. I saw that." But what I really think what happened, Chris, Pat, is that as he was running, he had forward progress, and the tackle drove him back a couple of yards.
I still don't think he got to the 50.
I don't think he will either. But
maybe the 49.
The far linesman would have had that view of seeing how far.
Let's take another look at it. He did get to the 48, and that's where the marker was. See, the 48's right there.
Now watch the tackle.
He gets the first down.
He does have the first down, but
yeah, you're right. Forward progress.
Right.
Forward progress brings him at about the 49 or close to the 49.
And like you said, that happened to be enough for the first down.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, Conway's arguing, but I don't think Coach Conway realizes that we're in the first down either way. I mean,
I think he's also saying
with you about it didn't get close to the 50.
Right.
He's definitely with you on that, but I don't think he's realizing that it would have been a first down anyway. But it's worth it's worth getting a clarification, that's for sure. Because we're talking about the way this has gone and the way his defense has gone. 7:52 to go, which seems like a lot of time, but this might be a situation where each team is only going to get the ball one more time. Coach Conway did a good job of giving his defense a breather, get them freshened up for this stand here. Big first down, though, by Cruz.
Yeah, Latin Academy certainly needed that. Now the 1st and 10 at midfield, the handoff to Merrick. And Merrick makes his way up to the English 46-yard line.
Now, Rocco's easy. We've known him over the years. Rocco would like nothing better to just grind this out, kill the clock, and then score as late in the 4th quarter as possible.
Handoff to Merrick.
Oh, good cut.
We got a flag on the play. That's going to come back.
Too bad, too. We haven't had many flags in the game. Really clean game, but yeah, there was a hold in there in the middle as Merrick was making a cut. That's going to be. It happened at the 45-yard line of English, so it's going to go back 10 yards. I didn't see it there, but the flag came out pretty definitive.
The hold on the offense. Take penalty.
See, the tough thing is it's from the spot of the foul, which was actually way behind where Merrick ended up. Yeah, it's going to take Latin Academy back to their 44. Good run by Merrick. I think Latin Academy sidelines got to be happy that he's running so well. Okay, Crispin's back in as the deep back in the eye.
Handoff of the left side to Cruz.
Caesar again.
And Cruz is then dropped right around the 45-yard line.
Good job by Cruz. Running hard and not trying to do anything fancy. Got a little bit of a misdirection. See, by avoiding that first tackle, he's able to tack on another 4 yards.
Maffeo now rolling to his right. And we got a flag on the play. It's going to be pass interference.
Yeah.
As he was looking for Nathan Polanese.
Yeah, Polanese was trying to come back for the football. There was contact before the ball got there. Yeah, you talked earlier, Pat, about how Maffeo can make all the throws, and that thing he was rolling out to his right. He actually got
defense. Going to be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Yeah, Maffeo actually had to throw that as pressure was coming to him. See, he was getting some late pressure. Then gets the benefit of a 15-yard penalty. This drive is moving along just exactly like that Latin Academy sideline wants it to. They have no problem just trying to grind it out.
Pitch over the right side is to Crispin. Malcolm Crispin with a nifty run out of bounds right around the 26-yard line.
It might just be Crispin and Merrick for the rest of this game. You see, this is their favorite sweep. Get what you can, and this thing gets knocked out of bounds. So Merrick's going to come back in. Crispin will go out. He's going out, right? So it looks like a straight swap, Crispin and Merrick. Different running styles, but both really effective.
Merrick
yeah.
Makes his way up to the 20. Just short of the 20, I believe. It's going to be very close to a first down.
They might want to measure this. We got flag, too. Wow. Got a hold again? Can't see anything.
Personal foul. Blue. Ooh. All right, so it's a dead. All right, it's going to be.
Dead ball foul, so that's going to tack on.
Oh, it's going to be. Well, English really hurting themselves within this drive. They got the benefit of a hold to push Latin Academy back, but now English has got the 15-yard interference penalty. Now it's going to be a half the distance to the goal. Personal foul. There was a little bit of action after the whistle, but I actually thought a Latin Academy kid had tripped. Apparently he was pushed. So first and, what's this going to be? First and 10. Inside the 11.
Handoff to Merrick. And this time English all over it as he's dropped to the 9-yard line, maybe a 2-yard gain on the play.
Now, on the touchdown drive for Latin Academy back in the second quarter, they use Merrick once they get inside the 20-yard line. Looks like they're going to try the same formula again. Obviously more of a power runner than Crispin and the rest of the Latin Academy runners. He's a deep back in the eye, has a fullback in front of him as the lead blocker.
Hand off to Merrick over the left side, and he makes his way down to about the 7.
Yeah, Jonathan got in there that time and got some help from Ford. Watch 21 comes up. Jonathan Pierre-Joseph. Okay, wide side of the field to the right. You might see the slant going that way to give the runner more room. And there they go.
Pitch to Merrick.
Oh,
and
nice
he
job.
Is drilled in the backfield. Olegon coming across for English.
Boy, Olegon guessed just like I did. He said, they're coming my side. Watch Olegon, 17. Boom. Wow. We talk about his offense, but that's like the third play from that defensive end spot. Really key on the defensive side. I don't know how all the linemen for Latin Academy just missed him. 4th down.
Maffeo rolling to his right. Olegon in the backfield.
He
Maffeo
lost him.
escapes. And it's almost intercepted by Boston English, but it doesn't matter. That's going to be a turnover on downs. Heck of a defensive stand by the Eagles.
Those last 2 plays were all Olegon. Watch Olegon couldn't quite grab that jersey to make the tackle, but forced just a desperation throw. That's good, really good coverage. They had like bracket coverage on the wide receiver, someone behind them and in front of them. So English just want to try to kill this last 3 minutes and 30 seconds, try to get themselves a 2-point win.
You wonder now if Latin Academy can come up with a couple of stops. Will that one timeout that they took earlier come into play?
Exactly. This is just what we were talking about when they were forced to take that timeout. Got some confusion on English for some reason. Oh, the linemen, they're 1 player short.
If you're Boston English, I think now it looks like they're ready to go, but they could even take a timeout here.
Well, it depends. I mean, they might get flagged for delay of game.
We get some early movement on Latin Academy.
That was smart. They changed the count. And they're going to get free 5 yards.
Nate Wertheimer coming across there for the
Outside on the
Dragons.
defense. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah. And again, English knows that the defense for Latin Academy is really on edge. They want to try to get any kind of advantage. English obviously has been using the same snap count a lot during the game. A little bit of hesitation by Smith to draw the defender off.
1st and 5 now for Boston English as Kerr gets drilled right around the 22.
They're keying on him. That's Crispin. Good job, one-on-one Crispin. And then they got some help from Avon Phillips. See, Crispin made the tackle, and Avon Phillips made sure Kerr couldn't get away. And you're right, Pat. It's going to be sort of tricky about these timeouts for Latin Academy. Kerr is being keyed on, obviously, so one of the other backs may become really important to try to get this 1st down.
Under 3 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter. A
reverse.
double reverse here for Boston English. That's going to get them a 1st down and then some. Merrick makes the tackle, but it's Giovanni Antoine with a big 1st down here for Boston English.
Antoine made a cut that looked like it opened up the entire sideline for him. Watch this reverse. Excellent handoff. Now watch Giovanni cuts back in right there and gets run down by Merrick. Merrick probably saved a touchdown because it looked like that play was set up around level camera. You see a good shot of it to see the cut. Merrick actually showed good speed to run him down.
On 1st down, it's Keyshawn Kerr with the carry.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go for him. That's going to be maybe a yard pickup there on 1st down.
I think Latin Academy will take a timeout here. That was a good job on 1st down.
They do with 2:15 left to go.
So they should have 1 left. So it's been a fun game for an 8-6 score.
It has. They're back and forth, a lot of good plays.
And that's the thing. They've been really good plays on both sides of the ball by both teams.
As we mentioned, both these teams with games on Thanksgiving. But Boston English with a win today would put them at 500 at 5-5. Meanwhile, Latin Academy with a win today would go 7-3.
And not only that, you're talking about 5-5, and the 5th win is against a 6-3 team.
That's right.
Latin Academy's, when you look at, like I said, English, you look at English scores from the season, and it's like a mountain range. Up, down.
It's like one of those heart
Crazy.
monitors.
Yeah, exactly. Just but with so many young players in key positions, that's going to happen at the high school level. Meanwhile, Latin Academy, like I said, their 6 wins, slightly more consistent. But today they've been matched defensively. Latin Academy depends on their defense a lot to set up their offense. But today, English's defense has really matched them.
So after the timeout called by Latin Academy, it'll be Boston English with a 2nd down and 9 with 2:15 left to go. Smith tackled in the backfield that time, 2-yard loss on the play.
Okay, another timeout by Latin Academy. That should be the last one. Watch Smith that right leg is a little gimpy.
He couldn't really even plant on it that time.
Yeah. I gotta wonder if that was a missed handoff again.
So now if you're Boston English.
Michelle told us, I'm sorry, like Michelle told us, I really don't, the coach, Conway really doesn't want Smith running.
Let's take another look at it.
So you see there, watch the rifle, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He almost rolled it right there.
So now if you're Boston English now, I mean, with a 3rd and 11.
No, you don't want to risk,
you're not going to throw the ball.
It. No, because you
want
want the clock. Exactly, yeah.
And then you have to punt.
You want the clock to keep going. But that was a key play, you're right. Latin Academy got a bit of a break because Smith, like you said, just couldn't plant his foot to make a cut. Trying to tie up that cleat. Big play, both teams. Matter of fact, this might be the play of the game here because a 1st down would literally allow English to run the clock out.
Yeah, it would be game over if English got a 1st down here. Latin Academy with no timeouts left.
You really just don't want to risk throwing the ball.
Well, the way this English defense has been playing too, I think Coach Conway could be confident in his defensive side of the ball to make a stop. 3rd and 11 now here for Boston English, and they do hand off safely up the middle to Exelholm. He has nowhere to go with it.
Go to one of the upperclassmen and know how to protect the ball well. Yardage gained is sort of secondary. They can run it down, let me see, but before the punt, they can run it down probably within 1:30, minute and a half to go. Then it'll be all Latin Academy.
They might even be able to get it down to 120.
Yeah, so Latin Academy is sending back Tyreek Williams instead of Crispin. Crispin's actually the short coverage, but Williams is the main receiver. You're right, Pat. They are going into 120. Yeah. And they can even take a 5-yard penalty for delay of game. There's that timeout you talked about. This is exactly what happened.
They're
This
losing
is
a
going
minute.
to cost them a minute, a little more than a minute. Yeah, English is just going to take the penalty. But you're right. About a minute and 20 seconds they lost because they had to waste that timeout. What was that? Early in the 4th quarter.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow.
So English takes a delay of game. That's going to back them up to the 34-yard line. But a small price to pay here for English, who we punt in the football.
Doesn't matter. They're just going to get as
like
long a punt as possible. Yeah.
So that 3rd down play went off at 2:07. It's now 1:04.
A minute and 3 seconds. Yeah.
Jean with an end-over-end kick, but it's short. Latin Academy's got to get away from it. That rolls down to about the Latin Academy 42. So not terrible field position here for the Dragons.
Not with Maffeo's arm. He got enough arm to get it downfield. Let's see. Defensively, English, I'm sure, is going to put in probably 5 defensive backs. They're putting in Andre Owens, taking out one of the linebackers. Yeah, you need more pass coverage. Yeah, they got 1, 2, yep, 5 people in pass coverage.
3 receivers at the top of your screen, 2 to the bottom for Latin Academy. Maffeo being chased in the backfield, gets it off.
Wide open! Oh!
Who couldn't hang on to it. That could have been a touchdown.
I don't know what happened with English's coverage, but you're right. He had worked himself wide open. This a very slightly overthrown, yeah. But you're right. If he pulls that in, it's definitely a touchdown. Wow.
It's the 3rd time they tried to go to Crispin through the air. He hasn't been able to come up with a catch this evening. This time Crispin, the lone back in the backfield. Maffeo, again, trying to escape pressure. Tries to get rid of the ball. He does with the incomplete pass. So smart play that time from Zach Maffeo.
Yeah, he was trying to direct one of his receivers to come back toward him, but it didn't happen, so he threw it away, stopped the clock. Okay, 3rd down.
3rd and 10 here for Latin Academy.
And watch Maffeo, like you said, Pat. Avoids the rush there, trying to tell his teammate to go down, fakes the throw, and then just dumps it. Because he knows he got to do a couple things. He has to get completions for yards, but he also has to stop the clock. If they can get a 1st down catch, it will stop the clock, temporarily.
Maffeo again got to escape pressure. He's going to be dropped.
They got to hurry up now.
2-yard run. They got to run a 4th down play too. You can't spike the ball.
Can't stop the ball. Just can't stop the clock.
It's going to be 3rd and 9 for Latin Academy.
4th and 9. 4th and 9.
I'm sorry, 4th and 9. You're right. Maffeo down the left side of the field, intercepted by Boston English. Jonathan Pierre Joseph coming up with the pick, and the Eagles are going to hang on to win this one.
Well, it's fitting because with all the defense we talked about on both sides of the football for both teams, to have an interception end it, well, they still got to make a snap, but like you said, there's the alma Maffeo. He put that in the air. He was back here at the 35. That was in the air about 50, 55 yards. Yeah, that 1st down play was a killer. So this is spiraled in the air, and you see the interception.
Yeah, Maffeo threw it more towards the hash rather than towards the boundary. I think if he threw it more towards the sideline, his receiver might have had a better chance at it, but intercepted by Joseph, and Boston English could hang on to an 8-6 win here at home.
There's that 5-5 you talked about.
That's right.
500 record with a chance for Thanksgiving to
put them over the 500 mark. Such a crazy season from this English team.
In Latin Academy, okay, you're on their sideline. What are the chances of you losing 2 games, 1-8-7 and 1-8-6 in the same season?
My goodness.
Yeah, just one kneel down will do it.
And Ja'Kai Smith does kneel on it for Boston English. And the Eagles will hang on to win here at Boston English High, 8-6 over Latin Academy. And Alan, you mentioned that, small score. Normally some of those times those games are not boring, but it's not as exciting to watch.
Fun game.
This was a fun game between two very good teams.
The point you're making, which is very true, there are so many big plays. Those plays you like scores.
Right.
And like we said a few times, Crispin out of the backfield for Latin Academy looked like he was like one step away 3 or 4 times from going all the way.
Right.
You had the long passing game of English with that huge 45-yarder that helped give them their only touchdown. So you're right. And if you really appreciate good defense, both these teams, and you can see the progression from English, because early in the season when they lost, they were shut out a few times. Those young defenders were just getting beat up. But today, they're making a lot of one-on-one tackles, a lot of very good gang tackling, running to the ball, and really balling up that Latin Academy offense with those 2 runners. Even with Merrick back, I mean, he wasn't as 100%, so wasn't quite as effective as we've seen in the past. But defense dominated the game. When it started out the entire first quarter, no score. And then at the second half, key points, both teams were able to make stops.
No question, as you saw both these squads. Defense has really come through tonight. Boston English made that big defensive play at the end of the game for the interception to seal it here for the Eagles this evening. They're now at 500 on the season. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our game-winning coach, our MVP, and our final stats here from English High right after these messages. Don't go away.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Get some drinks!
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing. And it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do it like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys. Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Boston English High School in Jamaica Plain. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, the Boston English Eagles were able to hang on to defeat the Latin Academy Dragons 8-6 here a week or two before Thanksgiving Day. And Latin Academy certainly had a tough time punching the ball in, but Boston English's defense was spectacular here this evening. But you know, we had a lot of players make a lot of little contributions for English today, but Keyshawn Kerr, their starting running back, even though he didn't have huge yardage today, really moved the chains for Boston English and had that touchdown for the Eagles.
And I think the key thing is because Kerr got off to a decent start, even when he was a decoy, when he didn't get the ball, the Latin Academy defense still had to account for him. So that opened up some other things. It actually helped open up that 45-yard pass that Smith was able to make to the big kid Olagun. But Kerr, like you mentioned, one of the younger players, really good athlete, good speed, has no problem going between tackles, which a lot of times smaller kids, a little shy about doing that.
That's
right.
But
he definitely is not. So you're right. I mean, he had an impact just being on the field, and we've seen him with much better numbers than today.
That's
but
right.
He was a key guy.
No question. Keyshawn Kerr, our player of the game tonight. He is down on the field with his head coach, Ryan Conway, and our sideline reporter, Michelle Fenelon. Michelle, take it away.
I'm here with running back Keyshawn Kerr and head coach Ryan Conway. Keyshawn, 9 carries, 57 yards for you, and your team's only touchdown. What worked for you on that touchdown play?
My line, they pulled through and did what they had to do this game for us to come out with the win.
I know you play offense, but your defense was incredible tonight. How dangerous is it to beat you guys when your defense plays like that?
We can beat anybody. We feel like we can beat anybody.
All right, thanks, Keyshawn. Congratulations on the win. Coach, you told me you guys were playing for pride. You wanted to put teams on notice for next season. What does a win like this tell other teams about this team?
Hopefully we'll be here to stay for a long time. These guys are young, so they're going to make young mistakes. We think that moving forward and coming into next year, our whole line is back. We see that our younger guys really put in work tonight. So we're just going to continue to put in work this offseason, get these guys in the weight room, have some of these guys wrestle, have some of these guys do track, do other sports, and get better. Most importantly, stay inside these books.
Your defense had a lot of big stops in this game, obviously, with that game-ending interception. What worked for you guys?
Just some of the combinations that we did with our line, playing with different linemen that we have. We have a little bit more depth than the average team in the city. And we're able to throw different combinations at teams, which helps out.
How does a win like this prepare you for your rivalry game on Thanksgiving?
Nobody was hurt, so everybody's healthy. So we'll give them Monday off, let everybody heal up, get into their schoolwork and everything else, and then we'll prepare for Latin.
All right, thanks, Coach. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Michelle and Coach Conway.
He's funny. He's Monday off. Thanksgiving's 2 weeks away. But he's right. You can tell. You get that little that sneaky smile note, looking forward, like we said, long term to next season, because he had a bunch of sophomores moving up. Boston's juniors moving up.
No question. Let's take a look at the final stats from this one before we sign off, and that's Latin Academy's final stats.
Crispin, Malcolm had a great game running the football, but he's going to have nightmares about a couple of drops. And more, well, to be fair, I think one or two of those passes were slightly overthrown, but there was one earlier in the game that he simply dropped. So even though he has 74 yards, I know he's going to really be beating himself up about those missed passes. That's right. Merritt came back. Nice comeback for him, 12 carries for 47 yards, so it's good to see him looking like he's close to 100%. Receiving, Williams and Cruz both had a catch, 9 and 7 yards. And Maffeo ended up 3 for 12 because he had to, force a throw at the end there, desperation time. And had the interception, so not a whole lot in the passing stats, even though Maffeo, he managed the game pretty well.
No question. ASA English's final stats.
Kerr, our outstanding player, 9 carries, 57 yards, the only touchdown for English. Antoine, 1 carry for 18 yards. Oligan, very effective on both sides of the football, did catch 2 balls. One of them was for the game-winning points.
That's right.
He caught the 2-point conversion on English's touchdown.
2 huge plays.
Which ended up being the final score. But I was actually more impressed with his defense. He played that defensive end spot. He was solid. They had, Latin loves to try to fake inside and go around the outside of the sideline. On his side, that left defensive end, he shut that down pretty much all game.
No question. Really good game on both sides of the ball for Hakeem Olagon, along with Keyshawn Kerr and the rest of the English Eagles. Well, folks, this was a lot of fun here tonight at Boston English High. If you want to watch this game again, you can go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this season are up on that site. You can certainly go to our social media pages as well, facebook.com/game of the week Boston. A lot of good links and different updates on those social media sites. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Hard to believe we got one football game left here in 2019. That's going to be on Thanksgiving morning over at White Stadium, Eastie versus Southie. But for right now, I'm going to say so long here from English High and Jamaica Plain. We'll see you next time on Game of the Week. Take care, everybody.